Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another week, episode 161 of the Seezus Show. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode 160. And in episode 160, it was Carl Conyers and myself as we broke down the start to the NBA season and we looked back at week seven, gave our predictions for week eight of the NFL season, and that was about it. So hope y'all guys enjoyed that a lot. Make sure to continue to subscribe on all forums, all platforms. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for my GOAT, for the boy himself, the legend, Carl Conyers.
What's good, everybody? What's good, my guy?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. Been a long couple weeks, but we here. All good things. What about
Yeah,
you?
man. I've been good, man. Just dog sitting a little bit,
Yeah, I do.
Shout out to Zell, been chill. But just dog sat this past weekend, and then I had the iPhone 12, and then today I was like, all right, today is like the day I gotta go. You know what I'm
Got the
saying? Like,
new, you got the new John?
yeah, I got the new
Okay,
joint, the
man.
Pro Max 17. So I'm excited, bro, because I had the 12, and like if I went to like a live game or a live performance and I try to like zoom in past like three, that jump would just be like blurry because I dropped it one time. The
Mm.
back messed up a little bit. It got overheated within like 5 minutes of using it. It was just time for an upgrade, so I was like, man, let me knock this shit out too. So I'm happy. I'm happy I got a new phone, man.
That's what's up. No, definitely gotta get off that 12 for sure.
Yeah. Next up, the MacBook, but I got the work laptop for now, so we just gonna take it day by day.
Yep.
Man, are you ready to get into today's hottest topics, man?
Yep, let's get into it.
All right, man. Week eight of the NFL season went pretty interesting, man. Kind of like we talked about last week, given what we saw now, what are your takeaways from week eight?
Um, I feel like, some of these teams, probably a little continuation of what I said last week, but some of these teams are starting to separate themselves more. So having a clearer idea of, who are actually good teams and who aren't. Having, a couple more injuries. So seeing how that's like affecting teams. I know we'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, but also I'm excited, like the Ravens got the win. So, and they about to get Lamar back. So they actually, crazy enough, they still have a chance at getting into the playoffs. Um, who else was it? The Steelers and the Bengals played? I want to say.
Steelers, Packers, I think.
Oh, the Steelers and the Packers. Who the fuck did the Bengals just play?
The Bengals lost to, I can't even remember who they lost to. Did they lose to the Browns? No, I forget. Let me see. The Bengals lost to the Jets. Yeah, the Jets got their first win. Jets got their
Yeah,
first win.
yeah, yeah. So that was also crazy. It's even crazier because Justin Fields, from all accounts, it looks like he probably wasn't going to be the starter, but Tyrod Taylor got injured. So they put him back in, and then he ends up leading them to their first win and probably at least secures his seat for the next game or two, unless he starts to stink it up again. Um, but yeah, also honestly, I'll talk about him a little bit in my QB list. Drake May, man, and these Patriots. Like it's really crazy. The Patriots are good again. And it's of course like their defense is good. I feel like that's always going to be a part of a good Patriots team, but it's like I still, although Stephon Diggs is having a decent year and much better than people expected, I still don't like any of their weapons. If you look at like all the top QBs, they all have way better weapons. And he still has them at 6-2. So that's kind of like my biggest surprise of the season in general is I thought they might be okay. I didn't think they would be one of the best teams in the league, at least record-wise right now.
Mm, mm. Yeah, man. The Patriots are looking like a serious threat, but I feel like they haven't really played. I mean, they played us. Obviously, they got that W. Those fumbles to go back and forth start that game was kind of crazy. And then obviously As far as like winning teams, they lost to the Steelers, and then I think they just beat the Browns, which is cool because the Browns defense is a top tier defense. But schedule's been pretty weak, but you can't take that away. You got to play who's in front of you, and then looking at their schedule up and coming, I mean. Falcons are looking, they're pretty much fool's gold. So Patriots got the Falcons, then they got the Buccaneers, Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills again, Ravens. I mean, it looks like Lamar gonna be back, Jets, Dolphins. So relatively pretty decent schedule. They should on paper, and how they play so far definitely make the playoffs. And it's just gonna be who's are they gonna win the division or not between them and us, the Bills. So that's gonna be interesting. But Drake May's been well, like you said. Takeaways, Dak, Cowboys wasting Dak's season, but I feel like that's kind of something that kind of always happens. Like you said, those teams, there's no clear cut favorite in who we think are going to get who will be the last teams remaining. But like you said, the tiers are kind of separating themselves. So that kind of solidified that when I saw the Broncos and the Packers win. Um, God bless the Jets, like you said. Lamar, like you said, is back too, and he quoted this is a do or die situation. So I know they're a little far behind within their division, but if there's any guy, any explosive offense to kind of run the table, run the clock, it would be them. Um, and yeah, Jonathan Taylor may, actually be MVP right now going into week 8. And outside of just, well, in addition to Jonathan Taylor as well too, it looks like to me, I feel like Daniel Jones may have found his home, like how Baker found his home eventually with the Buccaneers, and that just that duo, that tandem with Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, has been lights out this season. So I got to give props to them as well too. And then as far as betting goes, it seems to me when a team comes out of a bye, you should probably not bet against them, i.e. the Bills, i.e. the Ravens, as well too. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Transitioning to our next topic, offensive and defensive player of the week. Who you have?
Offensive player of the week, I got James Cook.
Ah,
Brother, yeah. Went off
James
for
Cook.
216 yards and 2 touchdowns and pretty much dominated that game.
Mhm.
Um, that's why sometimes I think, the Bills are a little underrated because James Cook is a top five running back. So when you add that and you clearly have a top three quarterback for real,
Mhm.
uh, that's just a very scary offense when things are clicking. And then defensive player of the week, although he didn't get the dub, he still had 5 sacks. So I gotta go with Miles Garrett.
Yeah. And he had in pro football focus, 91.8, 29.6 win rate, and 7 total pressures. And like you said, 5 sacks. And obviously with Miles Garrett, one of the best edge rushers that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. But it's crazy. Like, homie was a couple months ago before the season started, he was like, yo, I want out. Thought he was gonna get traded. Wishful thinking for me. I'm like, oh, he probably gonna go to the Bills or he probably gonna go to the Patriots, Mike Vapor or something, and then he get the bag. So I wonder how he's feeling right now because I just don't know what's going on with the Cleveland Browns right now. But individually, from an individual standpoint, he's playing great.
I think he had to have made like honestly I don't want to hear a peep out of him because he had that chance to get out and stand firm on his stance and he decided to take the money, which I'm not blaming him for. I probably would do the same thing. But you
Mhm.
can't then just go and immediately, try and force your way out when you already had the opportunity to do that before you signed this deal. Uh,
That's true.
so
That's
I think
true.
hopefully he's made peace with the fact that he'll probably never win anything because the Browns are never going to win anything. Um, but at least his family's going to be good for generations.
Yeah. And then what you said with James Cook, man, definitely very underrated. Became a self-made top five. Sometimes I go between top five, top 10. It really kind of depends on the week, but you can also attribute that to our offensive coordinator as well, too, because I feel like on those third down, those third and shorts, when we can utilize Josh or utilize him, we kind of don't go off script and do that. But I definitely want to see him get a lot more touches, kind of like how we see these other running backs that we've kind of talked about as well too. And not only use him behind the line of scrimmage, let's get him in some actions like McCaffrey from back in the day, or even Saquon Barkley, where they're dual threat. So that would be nice if I can kind of see that as well too. But he played great. He played great. As far as injuries, man, one of the YNs. Cameron
Not,
Scatterboo
he's
had
just a Y. He's definitely not an N.
one of the wise, Cameron Scatterboo, obviously the rookie for the New York Giants, is out for the season now after suffering a gruesome dislocated right ankle injury during Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Underwent successful emergency surgery and has been discharged, and he's about to begin his rehabilitation. So basically, with the injury, he's attempting a second quarter catch, cuts, short breakout, and then basically just kind of just tweaked it. Was on the ground for a bit. I don't know if his adrenaline was running because most people grimace right away. He was just like, ah, shit, I got hurt. Well, I guess the season over. So that was kind of crazy. From the recovery time, that could take anywhere from a few months to a year, and for more complex cases, such as like an open dislocation. But what are your thoughts on this injury and
Oh, I'm sorry. The way because you said gruesome so many times, I hadn't seen any video. I didn't know.
oh,
So
you
I
just
just
watched it
watched
one
that.
time?
That shit is crazy. This he lifting his leg and that bitch is bent like these. That's nuts.
His face is just so like stoic, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, I would be like, all this other
You
stuff, but
you're
it was
not
nasty,
feeling
bro.
nothing, bro. That's so much adrenaline that's pumping through him right in that moment. And also, I mean, you're in a football game too, so you already amped up. Um,
Damn.
that's crazy. I'm sorry. What was your question?
No, what are your thoughts on the injury and the state of the Giants? Obviously, they drafted him, they drafted Dart. Dart started by like week 3 or 4. It looked like they were catching the groove and gave something for the city to believe in. But what do you think this does for their organization and him moving forward?
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely really tough. You know, he was their best running back on the team, clearly. At least they have Tyrone Tracy, who's ended up being their starting running back towards the end of last year, who's like decent. Uh, but I think if it was going to happen, I would rather it happen this year than next year. I think they're going to have some momentum going into next year. I feel like this year is already pretty much a wash. But it's
Especially
good
with
to,
the game when we neighbors up too.
yeah, exactly. Neighbors is already out. Then you're, now dealing with this. Um, but you're seeing, it's still, this is valuable time for Jackson Dart to grow. You're not necessarily worried about a running back getting reps. Like as long as his ankle heals up fine, he'll come back and be the same player he was this year. So, I think I mean, it's gonna suck for them. It's probably gonna affect their offense a little bit, but it's not like they were a top team anyway. And I think this season is now just really about Jackson Dart getting these reps. But he's looked great.
Mm, yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts. As far as the NFL trade deadline is approaching right now, any teams you think should have any form of rationing for trying to buy or any teams trying to sell? What are your thoughts on that?
I actually saw today the Patriots made two trades. They
Oh, I didn't
traded
know.
away, yeah, they traded away a safety and one of their ends. The safety is someone they just re-signed like for to an extension like last season, but basically both of them have fallen out of the rotation. So those were kind of just like, getting some money off the books and getting a fifth and sixth round pick back for it. But
Mhm.
I'm looking for them to be buyers now. Because clearly I think the season is going way better than they anticipated. And then now you just freed up some money by getting rid of those players that you weren't playing, and getting a couple more additional assets. So I definitely look at them to be buyers in this market to see if they can bolster some things up.
Mhm.
Um, Outside of that, though, it's tough for me. I think I would say like the Bengals should for sure be in the trade market for some defensive pieces and um I think that the I think the Ravens should as well, but I don't really see either of those teams making any of those moves. That's just kind of
Mhm.
tough. I feel like there's a lot of teams, okay, like you should be doing this, and their franchises just don't tend to make those big moves. And also, this year, I know me and you kind of talked about it a little bit. This year has been really quiet on like the trade stuff. There's nobody who's requested a trade. There's no big name that you feel like is going to be on the move. So I feel like anything that happens is going to be a surprise to everyone, if there
Mhm.
even is a big move.
Yeah, no, that's real. I was gonna say the Patriots too. They're off to a 5-2 start. They have a potential to win their division since the Tom Brady era as well too. Make Dre's looking great. Like I said, they got Mike Vrabel who has playoff experience with the Titans to an extent. But you said they made some trades and made some signings, so that's good. Obviously, Buffalo Bills is always something to kind of take a look at as well too. I mean, our secondary's cooked, our wide receivers, and when it's man, when like you said, when James Cook can't be James Cook and get slowed down, we can't really get any separation. So hopefully we can get something in the market because there's a lot of teams that are kind of losing right now who are going to have their draft picks and may want to get off contracts like the Tennessee Titans or the Las Vegas Raiders. And, those can be some potential transactions that we can kind of rock with as well too. So that'd be nice. And then, I mean, I know they banged up, but I mean, San Francisco still has a winning record. And obviously they're kind of depleted, but maybe they could seek some help on the defensive line or in the secondary or something like that as well too. But like you said, I don't really see any crazy shakeups happening. But I feel like you already kind of pointed to the Patriots. If it's anything, maybe Buffalo or like I said, the 49ers. But the teams right now who kind of have those winning records in their division, I feel like they're pretty confident with their team. So I don't think we're gonna see nothing crazy between now and the end of the trade deadline for real, for real.
Yeah.
So man, week 8 going into week 9, QB top 12 list. Let me know.
So this week we have some changes.
Okay.
All the way down to 12 is your man's Jalen Hurts.
Mm,
Um, at a certain point, it's like, okay, all the winning kind of gets rid of some of the problems that people see, but you start to, which is not like, they're uh, on some crazy losing streak or something like that, but they're not undefeated, and he's just not shown consistency in the passing game.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, for me, he's all the way down to 12. Then at 11, I have Justin Herbert.
Okay.
10, I have Jackson Dart. 9, Jordan Love. 8, Goff. 7, Darnold. 6 is Daniel Jones.
Hmm.
5, I have Baker. He slid back a little bit from his last game. Just wasn't really a great performance, but I think he's still going to have a great season. I think he still has potential to move back up on this. 4, I have Stafford coming off the bye, so he didn't play no good or no bad, but I think he's been consistently one of the best quarterbacks this year,
Yeah.
especially playing, without Puka these last couple of games. And I feel like he usually does a good job managing those injuries as best they can. 3, I have Josh Allen. And then at number 2, I got Drake May. I think that I think Josh Allen is doing exactly what, I'm sorry, I think Drake May is doing exactly what Josh Allen did last year and got him the MVP. Of course, it's not like, he's not a running quarterback, so it's not the same there. But Josh's a big part of the argument was like, okay, I don't have any weapons, and I'm still leading this team to one of the best records in the league. And that is exactly what Drake May is doing right now. Like, there's nobody. And number 1, I have Mahomes. So, like, you look at Baker, Stafford, Allen, and Mahomes all have outside. Allen's wide receivers, I'd say would be about the same, but he has a great running back. Mahomes has Rashee Rice, Kelsey, Stafford has Puka, Devontae Adams, he had uh Mike Evans, who just got hurt. And he has like Buka, even Daniel Jones, going to go back, another one has Jonathan Taylor. There's nobody on this Patriots team on the offensive end that is even close to the ilk of like any of those players that were just named. So I just have to give him credit for that, and he's just really lighting it up.
Mm. Nah, your list was solid as well too. Mine was I changed a little bit from mine last year. I mean, from last week too. Like 12, I had Jalen Hurts because of his game with Minnesota, but because he's played 2 damn near perfect games and his boy AJ Brown was out, obviously Saquon Barkley kind of helped with doing what he did as well too. But he had a good game from his standard. So 12, I had Sam Darnold, like you said, the bye week as well. 11, I had Daniel Jones. I think with Daniel Jones, he's been playing well. He's had some breakout games, but it's a really good balance between him and his running back, who I think is a potential MVP candidate to go up alongside Drake May and other people as well too. 10, I had Bo Nix. Bo Nix has been playing really, really good these past couple of games, so I got to give love to him. They're still in lead, have a little bit of a cushion in their division with the Chiefs and the Chargers as well too. 9, so 9 is Jalen Hurts. So he went from 12 to 9 for me. Like I said, those last two games.
Who was
8,
12?
you said what? So 12 Sam Darnold, 11 Daniel Jones,
Okay.
10 Picks, 9 Jalen Hurts, 8 Jordan Love, 7 Jared Goff. Dak dipped a little bit because of the game he had, but obviously there's no run game and shitty defense. But I kind of gotta rate him as well too. So I put him at 6. 5, I got my boy Josh Allen. 4, Baker Mayfield didn't play a great game, didn't play a bad game, but he played good enough to win the game. 3, Drake May. 2, Stafford. I was thinking about putting Drake May at 2, just like you, but I was like, Stafford, you had your week off. So I'm gonna still keep you at that line. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes. So that was my top 12 list for sure.
I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot about that boy
Oh,
Dak.
oh, Dak L. Shoot, damn.
I I probably would have to take
Who you
that's
take out?
tough. I really like Jackson Dart. I think that he's been playing really well. He had like one bad game. He's been playing some pretty good defenses. Um, I don't know who I would. I don't know. I guess I'd probably take Justin Herbert off for Dak.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. As far as week 9 predictions, let's go ahead and go back and forth with that. So, Thursday night on Prime Video, the Dolphins are hosting the Ravens. Obviously, Tua probably had his best game of the season and maybe of his Dolphins career. But Lamar Jackson comes back, so that kind of changes some things as well too. Now the Baltimore Ravens are favored at -7.5. Who you got?
The Ravens.
I got the Ravens too. Yeah, I got the Ravens. Lamar coming back is do or die. Kind of like that situation from the Bills when I think at one season we were 5-5 or 5-6, and then we just won out and got to the playoffs. I think Lamar gonna be on some shit. So we're gonna see. And that Dolphins defense ass.
Yeah.
Um, Probably the game of the week. Bills are hosting the Chiefs in Buffalo. The Bills came off their bye week, took care of business with the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, the Chiefs have been playing great as of late. They seem relatively pretty healthy. Obviously, Jaden Daniels didn't play, but they still played relatively pretty clean game. I mean, I had one pick, but it doesn't matter. Who you got?
Mahomes threw two picks, two early
Oh,
picks in that game.
two,
Yeah, yeah.
two.
But those were like first quarter, and then the rest of the game they played really well.
Yeah.
But that's always a tough one, man. But honestly, with the way Mahomes been playing, I'm gonna give it to him.
Mm. Yeah, man, I'm kind of torn. Um, I will say for the most part, as far as like our game plans go, it kind of reminds me of like the Patriots of old, where like normally when we lose, we beat ourselves, or if we lose, it's by possession or so. Only reason why I'm gonna rock with the Bills winning is because we're at home as well too. But we gotta have a good balance. Like James Cook gotta come to play because if James Cook ain't come to play against that Steve Spagnuolo defense, it's gonna be pretty interesting. But I think it's gonna be another game where it goes down to the wire. And just off of history, it seems like the past couple of years we've at least taken care of them in the regular season. So I think we're gonna take care of the regular season. Playoffs, don't ask me. They probably gonna get that trade. So I got them. Patriots going up against the Falcons. Who you got?
Pats.
I got the Pats too. Is the quarterback still hurt for the Falcons? Because I saw Kirk Cousins play this past week.
Yeah,
Michael
but
Penix.
Penix is supposed to be back this week.
Okay, okay. So that may change some things. But I got the Patriots too, some Foxborough. They hot. I know they smacked us, but they had 2 weeks of game plan for us, and they were at home, but they in Foxborough. So I got the Patriots too. Titans are hosting the Chargers. I think we both got the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. Bengals are hosting the Bears. That's up for grabs, honestly. I was pretty disappointed in the Bears last week, messed up my parlay, got everything right except for them. But who you got in that game?
I'm gonna reluctantly go with the Bears. Don't really like how I feel like Caleb is. I mean, he's still early on and everything, but he's just not been great this year. He's just been like really serviceable. But I think hopefully it should be enough to beat the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. They let one get away. I think they're gonna be dialed in and should be a nice shootout game. Steelers are hosting the Colts. That should be another good game as well too. Colts had a good win against the Broncos, and I forgot they had another quality win as well too. But other than their schedule's been pretty light packed, so this should be a good one because it's on the road as well too. Who you got?
The Colts.
I got the Colts as well. Hopefully I can be locked in for that one. Giants banged up against another banged up team, the 49ers, but Giants are at home. Who you got?
Niners.
I got the Niners too. Texans are hosting the Broncos. I think the Texans just won their last game, which was crazy. I think against the 49ers or something like that. But who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one. I think it's really sad that CJ Stroud is not like he hasn't been anything close to his rookie year still, but they're a decent team. So yeah, I'm going with them.
I'm gonna go Broncos on the road. Your Lions are going up against their rivals, the Vikings. Who you got?
Lions, fuck the Vikings.
Retweet. Packers hosting the Panthers. Packers.
Yeah,
Raiders are hosting the Jaguars.
I'm going with the Jags. Were the Jags just off last week? They had to have been
Let me see.
because I don't remember seeing anything about them.
Yeah,
Okay.
they they played the 19th, so they have a bye. So yeah, I'm rocking with them as well too. I think they're gonna be locked in. Rams coming off a bye against the Saints. I got the Rams. I'm sure you got the Rams too.
They're about to start a rookie for the Saints too.
Oh, yeah, that's nasty work. Commanders, Seahawks.
If Jaden is back, I'm going with the Commanders there. But if he's not playing, then I'm going with Seahawks.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. And then Cowboys, Cardinals. Kyler Murray versus Dak. Was Kyler Murray hurt too?
No, he'll be playing. He'll be playing.
His ass. Who you got?
Uh, the Cowboys.
Okay, cool. And then as far as your waivers for week 9, man, to wrap up the NFL segment, what you got what you got for us this week?
So two defenses. I have the Jags defense and the Rams defense. The Jags are playing Vegas, so that's always just, Gino been trying to hand the ball to other teams all year. And the Rams are playing New Orleans. We're about to be starting Tyler Shaw, I don't know how you say that boy's last name, but yeah. And he's a rookie quarterback. He could be good, but more than likely in his first game, he's not going to be that great. Um, and then you have Tyrone Tracy for the Giants. He's still available in a lot of leagues because now he's going to be presumptively the starting running back following the injury to Scatterbo. And then also running back, I have Bam Knight for the Cardinals. Looks like he's kind of broken out of the little uh, situation of trying to figure out who's going to be their running back in the interim while James Conner and Trey Benson are both on IR.
Yeah.
And for a quarterback, I have Purdy. He's actually still available in like 41% of ESPN leagues. Mainly, I'm sure because he's been injured, but looks like he's going to be on track to play this week. So I think that he'd be a really good add. And then lastly, I have Keyshawn Booty, that boy Booty. Um, he's been emerging as kind of like the deep threat for Drake May these past couple of games. So I think he's someone, if you need some wide receiver help, he can help fill in there,
All right,
especially
well, there you have
size.
it. There you have it. Week 9 fantasy waivers. You've been honestly pretty hot with these. So y'all tune out for that, man. Transition to the NBA, man. NBA is officially back. We got damn near a week in the wraps, man. And man, I guess I'm gonna toss it to you, then I'll go over what you don't cover, man. Was this the one of the best opening weeks of all time?
I can say at least in like since I've really been watching, uh,
Mhm.
yeah, no, like it was really crazy. I mean, there was multiple double overtime games, other overtime games, just other really great games. A lot of storylines coming up to fruition. This rookie class has been fantastic.
It's gonna go
Like,
down as number ones, bro.
bro, and it's crazy because Cooper Flag hasn't even he's been okay, but he hasn't even been close to the best rookie. And that's saying a lot. Like it's, players that are all the way through this lottery and maybe even later that are hooping right now. Um, so it's great to see, we're in that phase where a lot of the great players right now are old. The Stephs,
Yeah, you
Bron.
starting to see that shit too, yo. Like
So
with the old and with the new, or like the season, like it's kind of scary, kind of sad.
but it's dope to at least see an influx of new young talent, to be like, I feel comfortable, like, okay, we're gonna be good and we're gonna still have some really great stars once these guys retire.
Yeah, league is
Uh,
definitely in good hands.
yeah, so that's honestly been one of the biggest takeaways for me is like the league is really in good hands. A lot of the young stars have been showing up and showing out. Maxey, Edgecombe, Wemby, um, the who is it in Shangoon, Shea, a lot of these guys have just been like really, really great to start the season. LaMelo, and also the Trailblazers, man. Trailblazers have been playing pretty good these first couple of games. So that's also just like, the West is it's so packed every year, and this year it feels like it's going to be even more packed. I really don't know what this seating is about to look like. Um, but yeah, it's been a really, really great first week. I'm excited for the season. It'll be interesting to see if this effort level maintains, which it probably won't. But these first couple of games, they've been playing hard. Like it doesn't feel like they've just been going through the motions, which is great to see.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. As far as like stats, I think the players set a new league record with 16 separate 40-point games in the first 6 days of the season, shattering the previous mark, which was seven. So that's actually kind of insane. Just shows you how much talent, how much skill and talent there is now compared to back then. Four different players open with 40-point games. Obviously, Luka Doncic, Ant-Man, Tyrese Maxey, and my boy Victor Wembanyama each dropped 40 points in their first game of the season, and that's also a first in the NBA history. And then we also had some history as well too. There was four 50-point games this opening week, which was crazy. And then the backcourt scoring record of the Philadelphia 76ers starting backcourt with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe combined for 182 points over the first three games, the most by starting backcourt since starters were first tracked in 1970-71 season. So had to give some love for them. Obviously, like you said, there was some crazy overtime, double overtime games as well too. But it's also looking like the top five players in the league, all foreign. United States players stand up. What we doing? What we doing? I know as a collective, when we get to the Avengers mode, we solid. But as far as faces of the league right now, it's looking all foreign right now, man. Um, and also, some talking points. You know, I feel like 76ers low key, man. I know we were talking about them last week, but if VJ Ekholm can play like this and Paul George comes back, it looks like Embiid's getting better each game. They could potentially make a little bit of noise, but we'll have to see because history says no. But I just love their young talent right now, man. I'm really, really loving their young talent. Um,
Real quick before we hop off of that one, I agree. I think their young talent is really good. I think actually they're at a point where I don't know what Paul George's role is going to be when he gets back.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Because at this point, like, unless you want to give him the Dylan Harper treatment, I don't want to. I don't want to not have Edge. I don't want Edgecombe to come off the bench. You know what I'm
Yeah, no,
saying?
he needs to be starting. And although I'm sure they'll still start Paul George probably at the three, um, Grimes is deserving of all the minutes he's been getting. He's been playing amazing off the bench for them. And
Absolutely.
then I think also this is clearly, I want to say, in my opinion, this is clearly no longer Embiid's team. I think this is Maxi's team, and I think Edgecombe has already proven that he's probably going to be second in line. I feel you. I guess Embiid's starting to look a little better, but not really. Even like this game tonight, like he let Alex Sarr drop like 30 and 11 on him.
Yeah.
Is I think he's going to be he'll always be able to shoot and score and stuff like that, but his defense is really where like he can't move anymore. And I just
Mhm.
don't think that he's gonna progressively be that much better as the season goes on, especially I don't think he's going to be injury free as the season goes on. So I think it's just that's really my big note. I think is just really crazy seeing, in my opinion, I feel like Embiid is now out of his prime, and it's wild to see to realize that we've kind of like witnessed that period come and go, and LeBron James is still, even though he hasn't played yet this season, he's still probably going to average like 25. It's really crazy to put that in perspective.
Yeah. Also, LeBron James was God's perfect creation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, he's still in a minute restriction as well, too. Probably, also trying to find some trust somewhat in his body. But I'll give you that his defense hasn't necessarily been what we're accustomed to seeing. So I'm gonna just take that joint week by week. And then, like I said, once they all kind of come back, they got a lot of talent to kind of figure out what to do. So it's gonna be a lot of pressure on Nick Nurse, kind of like with the Spurs. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox gonna come back,
I
but
forgot
we
about
got
McCain.
we're guard heavy. McCain was on
Yeah, I
pace to be
forgot about
the
him.
year last year. You know what I'm saying? So they got him, Ekholm, Maxey. You just talked about Quentin Grimes, so it's gonna be interesting to see what that rotation looks like from a guard standpoint.
Yeah, especially I just don't think his contract sucks, so they probably won't be able to trade him. But if they
Oh,
could, I feel like the Sixers would trade Paul George right now.
I mean, if I could trade Paul George and Embiid, that would be nice and just build around rebuild around the young guns. But obviously, no one's gonna take that. But no, that would be a perfect scenario for sure. Um, yeah, man. Also, gotta give some love to Giannis. He's been doing his things. I feel like that kind of that year we saw like Russ without no other star with him. I feel like we're gonna get this year out of Giannis times two. So I'm curious, like, because like you said, that was a team, that was a player that you were kind of excited to see this upcoming year. But it's gonna be crazy. But Giannis cannot get hurt because if you get hurt, they're going down. But right now, it looked like he on pace to win them at least 48, 50 games. And my last one, I'm pretty disappointed with the acquisitions. And, you think you see growth from the following year and there's injury free as far as like Orlando Magic go. So I'm disappointed in them so far. I know it's only been 3, 4 games. I'm disappointed in Atlanta too. It's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all making all these moves, but y'all still playing like y'all asked, y'all got the pieces to be good. Like,
Mhm.
why are the Wizards outplaying you guys? You know what I'm saying? The other teams outplaying. Like you talked about the the Portland Trailblazers. Like what are y'all doing? Y'all got veterans, y'all got experience, y'all got talent, y'all got decent coach. Like, what's going on? Um, but yeah, first week's been good, and I'm liking what I'm seeing as far as like even a lot of these like I said these network deals. So we got something to look forward to through NBC, ESPN, and all that other good stuff. So it's been pretty dope. Transition though for that, man. My San Antonio Spurs are still undefeated. We number one slash number two in the West with OKC, man. It's been looking crazy, bro. Is it Wemby's league now, or we gotta wait a little bit longer, man? It's looking scary out here, bro.
I mean, I think we have to wait until the end of this season, but it's for sure his league. Like as long as again, he stays injury free, he's gonna be. I firmly believe as long as he is able to maintain a decently clean bill of health, he will go down as one of the top 5 players ever. Like it's not even hyperbole anymore at this point. If you've actually watched him play, like he did a 360 layup. He don't even need to do that because he's so freaking tall. The fact that he can is insane. He's having sequences where he's throwing people's shots, and then the next same possession going down and hitting a step back three. Like that's just not something that we've ever seen before. And I don't think that the same way, honestly, I don't think that we're ever going to see a shooter as good as Steph. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. I don't think we're ever going to see somebody who can do the things that Wemby can do, especially at his height. So yeah, no, I mean I think this is the year to really, okay, establish not only am I dominant, but I'm dominant and I can lead my team to a winning record. Because that's kind of been the issue the first 2 years. You give him a break because he's a rookie, and then last year he had the blood clot. But it's like, okay, in order to actually be regarded as a great player, your team has to win. Like you can't just be putting up good stats on bad teams. Which I think I don't think he's gonna be doing that. I think he's gonna be playing impactful basketball for the next couple years to come. And I think it's also great to see the way that the Spurs have built around him. And it's dope to see the long game playoff. Like Vassell is someone they've been, building up for the past couple of years, drafting Castle and who was the other guy? Uh
Johnson.
Keldon. Yep, Keldon Johnson. Um and honestly, to me, they're in a very similar situation as the 76ers, where it's like, what is Fox's role about to be when he comes back? Like, because you already have Castle and Harper playing great as your guards. So of course you're gonna find, Fox is gonna start. You're gonna find minutes for him. But I just think, which it's always a good problem to have. But I do think that they're now dealing with, dang, we have all of these like really good guards who needs to be getting minutes, and you honestly usually want to give minutes to your young ones so they can get more reps. But I'm sure they're trying to, navigate like, okay, Fox has experience and he has pedigree. So we want to try and at least do a little bit more of win now and let these guys develop along the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, Wemby's looking insane, bro, at this age, at this rate. And he hasn't even, like you said, last year he didn't even get to play a full season because of his blood clot. So, as far as like history goes, we've never seen this before. He's become the first player in league history to record 100 points, 40 rebounds, and 15 plus blocks over his first three games, which is crazy. And like you said, bro, like I don't know what he was on this off season, bro. Obviously, he was with the Monks for a little bit. He got to get some defensive lessons from Kevin Garnett, and obviously his footwork has definitely been showcased on display. You definitely know he's been working with Hakeem the Dream. So that's been great. So offensively, right now it's looking like he really has no weakness. He's put on some weight. He looks like he's a lot quicker, a lot faster. He has a tighter handle. And I'm really I saw it in the preseason a little bit, but these past couple games, I'm starting to see him play make a lot more as well too. And like I said, he's more assertive down low. He really hasn't been shooting threes like how he's been criticized his first two seasons. So that's only gonna, help him. And like you said, I like what we're doing with putting the pieces around him as well too. So, like you said, we are guard heavy. I always like having a shooting specialist to start the game as well too. But I feel like just off of seniority, I think Champagne is just gonna come off the bench, and we're gonna try to have Fox with Castle and Vassell, so that three guard rotation, and then Harrison Barnes at the four and Wemby at the five. And you can kind of get away with that as well too, because Wemby covers so much ground defensively.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how things go. I do agree with you. Like we gotta, ramp up getting our young players to play as well too. But I'm kind of just imagining like what that pick and roll is gonna look like, with De'Aaron Fox and Wemby as well too. And obviously we're undefeated. One of the games Wemby got fouled out, and it was kind of a collective effort with everyone. But De'Aaron Fox was defensive. I mean, not defensive, clutch player of the year for a reason. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like as well too. But I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Wemby, and that town around them. You can tell they're very together. They love playing with one another. And this is going to be a year where I wouldn't be surprised if they are a top six seed. So we'll see how things pan out. Obviously, there's a couple injuries that are, you know, in the NBA right now, but from what I've seen right now, bro, that team is looking good. And like you said, I agree with you. I had to think about it. I was like, we really ain't never seen nothing like this before. So like you said, the only thing that will go against him is his health. So I agree with you. If he stays healthy, because the Spurs are a A1 first class organization. So in your mind, you're gonna think they're gonna do everything in their power, like how they did with Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, Dirk for a little bit, Kobe to an extent, where they continue to build around him, and at least he can compete every year at a high level for a championship. So I agree. I think he can potentially be top five too. So the it's the limit is the sky for him. So it's gonna be a fun year, man. I'm what I'm putting on my calendar right now is I want to see him play against Joker this year. I'm definitely gonna be locked in for that. And I want to see him go up against Giannis again this year. That's gonna be a good one. I can't wait. Hopefully those games are nationally televised games. If not, I got League Pass, so we good. Um,
That's how you know that Embiid is washed because you last year you would have said you wanted to see him play against Embiid.
right.
Mhm.
Oof. But yeah, man, injuries, bro. Timberwolves Anthony Edwards is out for at least a week with a right hamstring strain this early on, while Lakers Luka Doncic will miss at least a week with the left finger sprain and lower leg contusion, obviously. What's his name? What's white boy name?
Reeves.
Austin Reeves obviously had a 50 and a 40-point game. Timberwolves still got that W the other night as well too. And then we have another injury with Brandon Miller. He's about to get a second opinion with his shoulder. He looks like he can't stay healthy, especially when the Hornets are looking so promising, especially with the draft pick and then their signings. But with these three injuries, man, is there any cause for concern, or it's just early on, 82 games, it's a marathon? What you thinking?
Um, I think I'll start with the Hornets. I'm starting to see a pattern of injuries with a lot of their really good players, especially their young players. And I think that sometimes can go with you being a really bad organization. I don't know if they're, in terms of nutrition, all these other things that like kind of go into making sure at least your body is more prepared to deal with this stuff. I just don't know if they're doing. It feels like they just be letting them do whatever out there. So, um, I mean, I don't know. As decent as they were looking, I have no faith in them for real this year. So I don't really know, how I feel like this impacts their outcome. But their rookie, Knuppel or Knuppel, however you say his last name, Khan, he looks good.
He got a
So
clip, bro. He got a clip.
yeah, yeah. So that's at least something for them to be happy about. And LaMelo at least has played 4 games. I don't know if he even finished the first couple of games last year. Um, but then, yeah, I think that the Timberwolves and the Lakers are going to be fine. Timberwolves at least have some other players that can win them a couple of games. I mean, it's only a week for both of these guys, so I don't think this is going to be something to drastically alter the standings. And as you see with the Lakers, Austin Reeves is going to do his best. But the Lakers, once they have LeBron and Luka back, I feel like they'll be able to make up any ground that they lose, which again, I don't think is going to be a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think
no.
they've had any like drastic injuries. Yeah, yeah. So
Hopefully they can just at least play 500 level basketball because it's not like the Eastern Conference, right? With the Western Conference, I feel like even though it's 82 games, every game kind of matters, especially when it gets towards the end of the year with seeding and trying to figure out who you want to match up with or if you're going to be looking from the outside and the play-in. So, yeah, once Brian and Luca come back, they'll be straight. They just need one of them, honestly, with how things are kind of going. And we'll see what happens more so with also with Minnesota. Hopefully Julius Randle can, I mean, he's notoriously good in the regular season, did a little bit better in the playoffs, and obviously fizzled out in that OKC matchup. But I think he should be able to handle the force, so they should be all right. But I do agree with you with the Hornets, man. I don't know if it's their training staff or something, but they all made a glass over their dog. It's
yeah,
crazy. Because also you didn't even mention Mark Williams. Didn't he have some health problems?
yeah, he
Come
did for sure.
on, man.
Also, uh, the Suns are back to being ass. And I
Yeah.
don't know why Devin Booker didn't request out. I don't, I guess they satiated him with that one finals appearance and about 3 or 4 years of being good. But it's like they literally had like 3, 4 years of being good, ass on this end of it, and now it looks like it's about to be ass again.
Yeah. And he got new ownership from what last season, so it's like, damn, like what are y'all really trying to do? I mean, obviously, I'd say get rid of him, blow it up, man. Let him go link with Giannis, man, or something, bro, because he's too good to not. be in the playoffs every year. We see all these players, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where your name is. Obviously, he's already self-made with his name, but you want to see him to continue being on that journey, chasing greatness and trying to get deep playoff runs, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked. That team is cooked, man. And I don't even know because of all the trades they made beforehand if they even have a draft pick next year. So they're really cooked. Oh, last topic of the day, I believe, man. Big shot, Billups and Terry Rozier have made the news. Just to summarize some things, and I want to hear your 2 cents on everything. Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier got arrested. The FBI arrested the two for separate illegal gambling schemes connected to the mafia, which was kind of crazy. The NBA has suspended both. Rozier is charged, accused of tipping off a friend about an upcoming injury in 2023 so they could win prop bets on his performance. People had the archives, the tapes, and they saw that game in 2023. He was selling that joint, looked nasty. And Billups charged, accused of running a rigged mafia-backed poker ring that cheated people out of millions of dollars. And obviously, as far as the league impact, this marks another major gambling scandal for the NBA and has led the league to review its policies, man. What are your thoughts with all this shenanigans going on, man?
I think it's crazy. I do. Really wild that we're going through this. Especially, it's one thing Terry Rozier, it's another for it to be Chauncey Billups. And it's crazy also because he has two different things, but the one that's NBA related is him telling people like I'm gonna sit all these players for one of these games. So like that is like yeah, most of the time it's been players or even like ref, but to have it be a coach is really crazy. And also a coach who's a former player. And then also the other thing against him is like him having an illegal fucking poker ring with the mob and using X-ray tables to see people's hands and stuff like that. It's just really nuts. Uh, but I think that what we're seeing also is you can't do what I wouldn't say even the league, the US, the United States has done with sports betting and not expect stuff like this to happen. You know,
Facts.
like there was a great period of time where it was like, okay, sports betting is either illegal or it's not like something that you can just do so frivolously. And of course, that means there's a lot less people are going to do it. And now that the government gets a portion of it, it is literally everywhere. Every sports channel you turn on, they have something talking about some gambling website. Even when you're watching the games, they're talking about gambling websites. Even the sports talk show, they're talking about the lines, all this
Driving
stuff.
to LA, you see the billboard. I just saw the freaking sleeper joint. I was like, God damn.
And like none of this was how things were beforehand, like at all. Like now gambling is embedded in sports and it happens so quick. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like stuff like this is going to be happening, especially if they don't really, really crack down on it, which of course I feel like now hopefully this will be the thing that makes them do so. But yeah, I'm not really surprised. I feel like this was bound to happen with the way that they've just kind of like opened these floodgates.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, y'all made millions of dollars. You got stability. Like, why do you even need to amount to doing all those things? So, if they do get found guilty, from a human standpoint, you feel kind of bad because they do have families and all these other things as well too. But you reap what you sow at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens with that because
They guilty.
be some significant prison sentences and some hefty fines. Obviously, you're not only thinking about that, some lifetime bans that may be going on as well too, and just tarnishing their, I mean, at least from Chauncey Billups' standpoint, like when I think of Chauncey Billups, Big Shot Billups, his championship and just being a stand-up guy and a player's coach, with the transition that he's had. And then they could take a potential more of a reputational damage to the league itself. Because, like you said, these are the motherfuckers that just happen to get caught. There's other motherfuckers doing this shit as well too. So we're gonna see what happens with that. But that is some crazy shit that's kind of been going on. So I'm gonna continue to follow that and see what plan of action and what the decision is gonna be. But what do you think is gonna happen?
I think they both guilty. So, I mean, I don't think Chauncey will ever coach in the league again. which really sucks because he was starting to look like a good young, but he was young in his coaching career, a good young coach, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Terry. With Jonte Porter, I don't even remember what the penalty was, and it just didn't matter because he's a fringe player, like he wasn't gonna be on any rosters really anyway, so it's just easy for teams to just not sign him. But Terry at least is a decent role player. So I'm not sure, he's gonna at least be, I feel like it'll at least be like a 2-year ban, but it might be a lifetime ban. But even if it is like a 2 or 3 year ban, he's at that point in his career where I don't think that after 2 or 3 years the team would want to sign him anyway. So I think this is probably going to be a wrap for him as well. But that's also like I'm saying that thinking that that's without the prospect of him doing jail time. Like if he does jail time, then it's already a wrap anyway.
Yeah, damn. Well, Carl has spoken with this situation, man. Any closing remarks or anything else? Wasn't there something that I feel like I got a notification about the WNBA? Did they reach an agreement or anything?
Oh, I didn't see that, but I hope so
Yeah.
because that has been some BS, that whole situation.
Yeah, I think I saw something, but I'm in so many group chats. Oh, let me see. I think it says before it ended. No, never mind. It just says WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for the new CBA. The current CBA expires on Friday, and the extension will allow both sides more time to negotiate a new deal. So we'll check in a month from now with what agreement they kind of come to.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks?
Oh man, everybody just, enjoy your week and it's the best time of the year. I think I said it before, but we got all these sports. So World Series went 19 innings last night.
You watch it or you asleep?
Hell no, I didn't watch it. But I'm sure baseball, a lot of my baseball fans or friends that are fans, they really enjoyed it and a lot of them stayed up to watch it. So
I watch like I don't watch baseball at all. I still need to go to a Dodgers game, by the way. But
same.
watch baseball really all. Like obviously I know what's going on. I'm competent. It's pretty easy to follow. But once it got to like the 14th, 15th inning, I was in my living room. I was like, all right, yo, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like I'm
Yeah.
and I woke up, I was like, oh, okay, they won. So is the game going on right now or is it over?
The Blue Jays won, so now the series is tied.
Woo! Okay, I might too. I might go to a bar or something for the last game. We'll see what's good with that. But other than that, man, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 161 of the Seezus Show. Make sure to subscribe on all forms of social media at the Seezus Show, at Sir Seezus, at Carl Conyers. We out.